I was, I'll tell you that later. All right, this is the Village of Peotone Board of Trustees meeting for June 10th, 2013. We'll begin by rising and saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, would the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Reichert?
Here.
Mr. Hupkey?
Here.
Mr. Wicker?
Here.
Mr. Hack?
Here.
Mr. Callahan? And Mr. Forsythe.
Okay, let the record show that we have a quorum present and we can officially conduct business. First order of business being the approval of the May 28th, 2013 regular village board meeting. Trustees, I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes as presented, or if you see a reason to correct, let us know what those corrections might be.
Motion.
Second.
Okay, motion by trustee Hupkey, second by trustee Wicker to accept the minutes as presented. Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Hupkey?
Yes.
Mr. Wicker?
Yes.
Mr. Hack?
Yes.
And Mr. Reichert?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Minutes are officially adopted as the record of the village board meeting in May 28, 2013. Next item on the agenda has to do with accounts payable and payroll, and trustees, in your packet, you will find the pay period ending April 27, 2013 in the amount of $47,545.80. You will also find, under accounts payable, bills from the general fund totaling $57,812.92, and bills from the water and sewer fund totaling $43,044.67. Now, we do have on the agenda coming up later approval of the final payment request to J.J. Newell for the 2012 sidewalk program in the amount of $1,982.09, which is included in the numbers that I gave to you. So, I will entertain a motion to pay the bills as presented, with the note that the $1,982.09 payment to Newell for the final sidewalk payment dependent on approval later in the agenda.
I have a correction. I changed the 47 to the 5.
Oh,
For payment.
thank you, I thought that was right.
My
All right,
mistake.
let's correct it to the pay period is the one ending 5/25. It's a typo. Okay, but the amount is correct. So is there a motion to?
I make a motion, we pay the bills.
Okay. Motion by trustee Wicker, seconded by trustee
I'll second.
Reichert, to pay the bills with the notation pending the Newell payment of $1982.09, pending approval later in the agenda. Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Wicker?
Yes.
Mr. Reichert?
Yes.
Mr. Hupkey?
Yes.
Mr. Hack?
Yes. Okay, motion carries and bills will be paid as noted. Public comment or questions. If there's anybody present who wants to talk to the village board about anything that's not coming up on the agenda later, you may do so now. Our guests appear to be discussing later. Like that. We'll move on to the reports of committees. Police chief report. Who was here?
Sorry. Nothing, sir.
Okay.
Figured you heard from me last month, but enough, so I'll
Okay.
keep it that. Quiet.
Engineer report?
Nothing this time. Next meeting, we should have an update on the Illinois 50 Corning Avenue stoplight.
Okay, so at our next regular board meeting, we'll have the update on the Route 50 stoplight. Good. New business, the special event amplifier permit. Jay Jackson has requested an amplifier permit for a graduation party at 843 Maple Lane on July 27th. Trustees, it's in your packet. George, do we have anything
No. Ms. Jensen says it's for a graduation party. They don't have a starting time listed. It's a question mark. And if the board is comfortable with that, that's fine. Otherwise, we may want to establish a starting time. And whenever we have amplifier permits in neighborhoods for graduation parties or whatever, we do reinforce the concept that if we get a lot of complaints from the neighbors, the amplifier can go. Just because they've got a permit doesn't mean that they can, crank it up to 6,000 decibels and with impunity. So, and I'm not saying that's what this person is going to do.
No, but
we
it's
always-
monitoring it. In
Yeah,
other words,
we-
police
we
department
always-
will be the monitor.
Yeah, we always have that caveat.
Okay, and this is for a Saturday, July 27th, and it's until 11 PM, which I think fits the parameters of the ones that we've granted in the past.
I'll make a motion, we grant the permit.
Okay, motion by trustee Hupkey, seconded by trustee Hack. Sorry about that, Kevin. To approve the permit as applied for, with the note that the caveat that the volume will be monitored, and if there are complaints, they may be asked to turn it down or turn it off. Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Hupkey.
Yes.
Mr. Hack.
Yes.
Mr. Riker.
Yes.
Mr. Wicker.
Yes.
Okay, next item of business is an ordinance on a petition for a variance at 409 East Crawford. It would be approving a request for a setback, increased size, and increased height for a garage. So this would be ordinance 13-06. George, you want to?
Yeah, Mr. Robert Agate of 409 East Crawford wishes to demolish his existing detached garage and replace it with a larger garage on the same site. Mr. Crawford needs variances from 3 sections of the zoning code to construct the garage as he would like. Mr. Agate has petitioned for the following: to allow construction of the garage 2.3 feet from the property line, where the regulatory setback is the required 10 feet, and that 2.3 is the setback for the existing garage. To allow a maximum floor area of 1,040 square feet instead of the standard maximum of 750 square feet, and to allow a maximum height of 18 feet instead of the standard 15 feet. Following legal advertisement and written notification to the surrounding property owners, the Planning and Zoning Commission conducted a public hearing and received evidence and testimony on the petition. No remonstrators were present. After deliberation, the Planning and Zoning Commission conducted a findings of fact, which are included in the report, and forwarded a favorable recommendation for permission to allow a maximum height not to exceed 18 feet, permission to allow a maximum size not to exceed 1,040 square feet, and have a minimum side yard setback of 5 feet on the west property line. In addition, the following conditions should be considered. The minimum side yard setback is 5 feet. The structure must not encroach upon any easements. The existing garage is to be demolished and removed, and the new garage is not to be used for monetary gain or commercial purposes. The board may adopt the findings of the commission and adopt the enclosed ordinance. Should the board wish to amend the recommendations of the commission and reject any of the recommendations of the commission, the board will need to develop their own findings of fact. Any such revision would require a 2/3 vote of the trustees.
Okay, and Mr. Agard is present.
Yes.
Is Mr. Regan
I-
attorney?
I'm Greg Shunnison, I'm Mr. Agard's attorney. I drafted the petition, and I've been helping him through the process. As Mr. Gray said, the goal is to demolish this old garage that was built in the early 1900s, and just rebuild on top of that. With some of the limitations of the older parcel, you can only fit so much in certain areas, so that's how we did it. And actually, it's going to be moved a little farther away from the property lines, I believe, is what the
Planning and Zoning
conditions are.
Commission recommended 5 feet instead of 2.3.
Yes,
That's
yes,
the way the ordinance was
commission did.
drafted.
And that makes sense, but we really couldn't do the 10 feet, is my understanding, based on everything. Bottom line, there's a hideous, ugly old structure that Mr. Eager wants to tear down, and he wants to build a modern garage that meets with modern standards. And, I believe the roll call vote was unanimous in approving of the same. And that's pretty much everything.
Just as a comment, it appears as though you have a shared driveway?
Yes.
Okay. And, okay. And obviously with shared driveway and limited ability, very long and narrow lot. as I
That's
look at this.
64 by 305.
Yeah. Trustees, you have any questions? You've got all the information in there. Hearing none. This would be ordinance 13-06. The, can we just pop off? No. I'm looking for the actual title of it. Okay, ordinance approving variances for garage size, height, and location at 409 East Crawford Street, Robert Eggert. And I will entertain a motion to adopt the recommendations of the Planning and Zoning Commission.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, in the form of ordinance 13-06. Okay, motion by trustee Wicker, seconded by trustee Hupkey to approve ordinance 13-06. The approval of variances for garage size, height, and location at 409 East Crawford, the property of Robert Eggert. Per the Planning and Zoning Commission recommendation. Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Wicker?
Yes.
Mr. Hupkey?
Yes.
Mr. Riker?
Yes.
Mr. Hack?
Yes. Okay. Motion carries. Ordinance is adopted. Good luck with your garage and demolition. All right, moving on. The next item has to do with the contract for the Ike Planning Grant Consultant.
Yeah, I lost my page here. Thank you, Jim.
Did I skip something?
No. The village has completed the RFQ consultant selection process for the Ike Planning Grant. The RFQ is submitted to the state for review. Upon acceptance, they posted the call for RFQ as request for quotations. On the website of the Illinois Chapter of the American Planning Association, in addition, they forward the call to firms of our choosing. The village received 3 proposals. We received proposals from Halcyon Levine, LCCT Design / Robinson Engineering, and the Verde Group / Tyson Engineering. As the amount of the grant was stated in the proposal, all 3 firms quoted $75,000, which is the amount of the grant. The contract itself is a template provided and approved by the state. A small portion of the contract language is dedicated to our specific scope of work. The team consisting of Mayor Duran, Planning and Zoning Chair Gary Hudson, and myself graded each proposal individually on a standardized score sheet. The average of the aggregate score was then used to select the vendor. LCT Design, Robinson Engineering received the high score. Should the board support this recommendation, a motion to enter into a contract is in order. The motion would be to authorize the village president to execute a contract with LTC Design, Robinson Engineering for professional services incorporated in the Ike Planning Grant Project.
Any questions? Number 1, trustees.
Thank you, Jim.
All right, then I will entertain a motion to authorize the village president to execute a contract with LCT Design, Robinson Engineering for professional services incorporated in the Ike Planning Grant Project.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by trustee Reichert, seconded by trustee Wicker, to authorize the village president to execute a contract with LCT Design, Robinson Engineering for professional services incorporated in the Ike Planning Grant. Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Riker?
Yes.
Mr. Wicker?
Yes.
Mr. Hupkey?
Yes.
Mr. Hack?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries, and I will move forward to execute that contract. Next item is the J.J. Newell final payment for the 2012 sidewalk replacement program. The payment request is to close out the project. We had a retainage in the amount of $1,982.09. Staff has reviewed the project and recommends the release of the retainage. And I think we have a letter from Robinson also testifying to that. So, I need an approval to pay, for pay request number 2 to J.J. Newell in the amount of $1,982.09.
So moved.
I'll second it.
Motion by trustee Wicker, seconded by trustee Reichert, to make the final payment to J.J. Newell. Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Wicker?
Yes.
Mr. Riker?
Yes.
Mr. Hupkey?
Yes.
Mr. Hack?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries, and the payment will be made. Now, we come to an item, a time on the agenda where I'm going to request that a motion to go into the executive session for the purpose of discussing personnel of specific employee.
Employment and specific.
Employment in specific, of a specific employee. Is there a motion to that effect?
Motion.
Motion by trustee Hupkey, seconded by trustee Wicker, to go into executive session for the purpose of discussing the employment of a specific employee. Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Hupkey?
Yes.
Mr. Wicker?
Yes.
Mr. Hack?
Yes.
Mr. Riker?
Yes.
Okay. Motion carries, and we'll be going to executive session,
2 weeks.
and that'll be it.
It's not a while, man.
Okay. Into regular session.
Motion.
Motion by trustee Hupkey, seconded by trustee Reichert to come back into open session for the Village of Peotone Board meeting June 10th, 2013. Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Hupkey?
Yes.
Mr. Riker?
Yes.
Mr. Wicker?
Yes.
And Mr. Hack?
Yes. Okay, motion carries, and we are back in regular session. We're down to correspondence, communications, petitions, or of any kind. The only one thing I want to say was, I had an opportunity last week, as the village president. Comcast gives out scholarship awards to kids all across the Chicago area. And one of our kids from Peotone, a girl by the name of Lindsay Mathias, was one of the recipients, and so I was invited to attend the ceremony, which coincidentally was a game at White Sox Park. US Cellular Field to be more appropriate. And there were kids from all over the state. There were kids from Wisconsin. There were kids from Indiana, kids from Michigan, all there. They had over 100 kids getting scholarships. And it was a nice thing. And, you know, Comcast being our supplier of our cable and all that, I thought it was awfully nice of them to do that and honor all of these kids with the scholarship and an award. And they also had some drawings there where kids could get, if you had your name pulled out of the hat, you could get another $4,000. And unfortunately, Lindsay wasn't one of them. But I just wanted to let you know that, you know, we have kids who do very well here, and the Comcast, one of our businesses in town, is supporting education. So, having said that, any due dates or anything we have to
No.
mention?
Water bills will be going out the end of this month.
Okay, well, we can talk about that at the next
You
meeting.
can talk about it at the next meeting.
All right, any other announcements coming up? Okay, hearing nothing else, I will entertain a motion to adjourn the June 10th, 2013 Village of Peotone Board.
Motion.
Motion by trustee Hupkey, seconded by trustee Peck, to adjourn the June 10th, 2013 Village of Peotone Board meeting. Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Hupkey?
Yes.
Mr. Hack?
Yes.
Mr. Wicker?
Yes.
Mr. Riker?
Yes.
Okay,